Welcome to Conversations with Caleb and Carter. Today's video is going to be predictions and our analysis of the Stranger Things Season 4. So starting off, for my big theory, it's kind of a jump, but have to have fun with these things. So my theory for who the new villain Venka is, alright, so it's gonna, there's different variations of the theory, but let's just go for the big one. So just to follow my train of thought here, there's a ton of Easter eggs in Stranger Things as a show set in the 80s. What was the biggest plot twist of the 80s in cinema? What was it?
In the 80s?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It was Darth Vader being Luke's father.
You think that's the biggest plot twist all the time?
In the 80s, I think it was. So I think...
I'm telling you, you relate everything to Star Wars.
No, I don't. But what? But that's just where I think they're going. I think Venka is going to be Eleven's dad. Alright, so that sounds really crazy. So also I think he's the creator of the Upside Down. And I didn't really think about this ever until seeing the trailer, and Venka's all humanized. He kind of looks like he was human. He's like, 2 legs, unlike every other creature from the Upside Down. He just has like that human form, and he speaks English. So I guess where I'm going with this is I think at one point Eleven's father was like the first guy to be experimented on, and I think his power, he could like he could just like change realities, and I think he like created a whole nother world for himself. And is it the Creel House? Is that what it's called?
Yes, the Creel House.
I think he escaped to the Creel House, or maybe he did it like in the lab, but I think he created his own world there to escape being experimented on. So that would and now he's just like out for revenge. And I wonder if they know this, because they told Eleven in the trailer, they're like, oh, without you, we can't win. DNA, the only way to stop. Like, people in the same family line can only stop each other, kind of that. It would also explain, it very closely fits the timeline of, like, the whole Creel family getting murdered, and that's kind of like my theory. What do you think about that?
I don't know about the whole backstory behind it, but I do think the Creel House is going to be the eye of the storm, essentially, in a sense.
It was in the trailer way too much for it not to be.
Linking the Upside Down dimension to the real world. And I think that's probably where they're going to go to head into the Upside Down, and I think they're going to head into the Upside Down for season 5.
At the very least, for my theory, I'm not confident at all. It's a theory, but I'd like to stick with, it was someone being experimented on. Maybe not Eleven's dad. Ideally, Eleven's dad, because then I nailed it. But what are the odds of that happening? Someone getting experimented on, they create the Upside Down, and then maybe they don't escape the institution and go to the Creel House, but maybe that's like, because it's mirrored, the Upside Down is mirrored after Hawkins, but so like maybe that's where they first kind of break back out and like start the killing rampage. That's kind of like the at the very least, hopefully that one's just true.
At the very least, I would say that my prediction is that they are going to not start season 5 by heading into the Creel House end season 4. I'm sorry, not start season 4 by heading into the Creel House to go into the Upside Down dimension.
Another thing we just noticed right before doing this was the Victor Creel, the blind guy in the trailer. I just thought he bared a resemblance to Phineas Gage, who he was mentioned in season 2. Obviously that's not him, but I think that's kind of a cool Easter egg, I guess. But I'm very excited for season 4. More excited than I was with season 3, I'd say.
The one thing I would really like to point out from the trailer, this really stuck out to me just from our last look at it, is the tombstone at the beginning of the trailer shows the name Billy Hargrove, because he did die in season 3 of Stranger Things. But at the end, near the end of the trailer, his tombstone no longer says Billy Hargrove, it says William Hargrove, which could mean a couple of different things. I actually dug into it, and some people are suggesting that maybe we are actually looking at a glimpse of the Upside Down reality, and that's why in the Upside Down it's the William Hargrove.
Too bright, though.
It did seem too bright, but then again, what do we know about the Upside Down?
Yeah,
not much.
There's the Max levitating, so I think Max has a bigger role somehow. I have absolutely no idea what that is.
Another thing I saw on that, actually, really interesting while I was researching.
They're looking up at her. Why would she have powers? I don't know.
The thing that I saw that was an interesting suggestion was that maybe Eleven's powers, since they're mentioned that she loses them, maybe rather than losing her powers, they were transferred in a way. There's an exchange of energy.
No. She had the part of the creature inside her. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
When her energy, however, it ended up being dispersed from her, it was absorbed then by Max.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
I don't know if I believe it though, because 11 has a little confrontation, little face off with Benka at the end of the trailer, and I assume at the end of the season, and I think that also implies she gets her powers back. And I don't know. I mean, it could just be something that happens like over time. She gets her powers back. Kind of reminds me of like the X-Men, the old X-Men, like the first X-Men movies when like Magneto, he got hit with all those, syringes that take away his power. But then at the end of it, you see him like moving the checker pieces again. Like over time, 11 gets her powers, but I don't know. I assume that's what happens.
For whatever reason,
that's a logical explanation. Yeah. Like the creature weakened her and she got him back over time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's not a stretch at all.
I don't think that's a stretch.
Where the writers went with that.
Could have gone a lot of different ways with that. There's only going to be one way to find out.
Oh, and another thing, I absolutely love that Stranger Things is they're not. They could make a lot of money off of this, but they said it's like 4, 5, or 6 seasons from the start.
They said 4 or 5 from the start.
Yeah, and they're like, we're done with season 5. So like, I feel like they already have a whole thing planned out, and it's going to be very, very exciting.
I think season 5 is going to be like I
think season 4 is going to be
huge view of the Upside Down. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, I wonder what the Russian involvement is. So I think the Russians somehow. Yeah. How do they have a Demigorgon or a Demihound? How did they get that?
Yeah, well, we see. That's an interesting thing that we saw in the trailer was that we kind of confirmed that Hopper is in Russia.
Season, yeah.
We confirmed that Hopper's in Russia, and then you were mentioning that. You want to mention how you thought he was the prisoner?
Oh, I mean, I thought for sure the new trailer like proved, and like even the like Winter from Russia. Winter from Russia, which is like a letter and There's that package from Russia too. That's
Yeah, the
that's kind of a weird
package
thing.
with sickle and hammer stamps showing that it was from Russia.
So would that mean it's from Hopper? I don't know. I don't know who else would be sending Joyce a package. But it wouldn't be Hopper because he wouldn't have known where she relocated unless they told. I have no idea where they're
Well,
going
I
with
think
that.
he might have known.
No, he's a prisoner though, so it wouldn't make any sense. And he's like doing labor for him. I don't know where they're going with the Russia. I feel like they're trying. Obviously, they're trying to train the Demi Hounds. Is it for the Upside Down or like for against Americans and the whole like communism versus democracy thing too, or is it both of them uniting against the Upside Down? Or who knows?
I don't know.
It's exciting though. I think that about wraps it up.
I think that covers our discussion on Stranger Things.
Let us know what you think about it.